Welcome back to the 2022 Spring Carter Cup Team Air Hockey World Championship. I'm Tim Weissman. I'm here with Jacob Weissman, and we've got round 3 singles. Some really exciting matches today. What do you think, Jacob?
I think it's going to be a great day. It's fun to return to singles after doubles last round. It's like we were saying last week, the intensity is only ratcheting up. So I think we have some really intense matches for you guys today, and I'm excited to get into it.
Absolutely. So to recap, we're all tied up, and so singles gives both teams an opportunity to go after that prize right there, the Jim Carter Cup. Take a look at the scorecard up to now. We are tied at 4 Carter Cup points each going into the next round, and it's been back and forth every single match. Amazing. I've never seen a Carter Cup like this before. Yeah,
and right now, Team Double Tap has the momentum.
Absolutely. And Team Double Tap, here they are. Marcos Quintanilla, number 15. Doug Howard, number 8. Number 1 in the world, Colin Cummings. And number 4 in the world, Vince Sauceda. That's Team Double Tap. The heir apparents are Brian Accrocco, ranked number 9. Jacob Munoz, number 3. That's you, Jacob Weissman, at number 2. And Danny Hynes, 11-time world champ, going for the Carter Cup. All right, so we're going to start off here with Jacob Munoz versus Vince Sauceda. This is a very interesting match because Jacob had his breakout tournament at Worlds back in December, and he beat Vince to make it to third place, which was a surprise to everyone.
Yeah.
Vince has been in the finals over and over and over for many years and considered almost unbeatable other than Colin for quite a while. And Jacob Munoz comes out of nowhere and he does that type of a shot.
Let's take a look. Here.
Set up.
It's our Viper replay.
And that shot is so fast that Vince was moving forward when it went in.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, and so this is, like you said, it's an interesting match. Vince definitely wants to prove that he is still on top. And Jacob wants to prove that, him beating Vince wasn't just a fluke. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here.
Yeah, I think Vince.
2-1.
Oh,
he just
Vince scoring on himself.
It's probably not.
I've noticed Vince has done that a few times in the Carter Cup so far. Self scores.
What do you think self scores typically are evidence of?
2 things. It's either a lack of mental focus, or it's just you need to work on puck control a bit more.
Okay. I would guess for Vince, probably the lack of mental focus would be more likely. Or do you think he's got?
My honest opinion is I think it's a little bit, but I think it's at least 30% just the way he's hitting his shots and just kind of having his puck control. I think could be just a little bit better for such an elite player. I mean, he has great puck control. He's a great snagger.
Right. No, I understand. You're not trying to.
I'm not
criticize.
But I think that he does tend to self score more than most of the other top 5 players.
Okay. All right.
So I think could be something about the wind up, how much energy he's putting into his shots.
Okay. Well, he does. His arm is way out there a lot, and he he'll swing it, and it's almost like
I've tried to sort of do a Vince attack before just for fun, and I've noticed that I tend to score on myself a bit more when I do that.
Well, if you look, his arm is still out once the shot has been executed, and it's sort of pauses there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if he misses and it rebounds, it can easily get behind his mouth.
Right. But the way he swings his arm out is part of why it's so deceptive.
Right.
So kind of a double-edged sword maybe for Vince.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But even with that self-score, I think he's up this game.
Yeah.
4-2. Time.
Pretty good.
4-2. 4-2.
First timeout over here.
Timeout called there for heir apparent by yours truly. I could tell that Munoz was nervous, just trying to get him to calm his nerves a bit and get into it. Munoz is at that stage right now in his game where he's starting to develop a lot of the real high master level skill and ability, but he still has to work on the mental game just a little bit. He still needs kind of that high-end experience.
Right.
Vince, has been in the finals countless times. I believe he's a world champion laser tag player, right? So he has that mental edge.
Right. And even if he was nervous, you wouldn't know it the way he holds himself on the table. It was nice,
Vince.
left wall under, and he gets the first game pretty convincingly, very convincingly.
This is one of those matches on paper you might expect to go either way, right? So this is the important match to get for either team. Because there are plenty of matches we have. It could go either way, of course, but on paper you expect one player to get the full point.
Sure.
And this is one of those up in the air rounds.
So when you guys were doing you were analyzing the breakdown of the matches, you guys figured maybe this was worth half a point, this match?
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're not familiar with singles in the Carter Cup, it's 4 games for singles, and if it's 2 games each, then half a point goes to each of the teams. So it's in essence a tie. But if you win 3-1 or 3-0, then your team gets the full point.
Ready?
And it's a race to 10.5 points. There's 20 sets in the Carter Cup.
Charge there by Munoz. Doesn't manage to keep the puck, though.
4-3.
Deadly cross straight from Vince.
4-piece.
Right wall under from Munoz. Munoz is kind of finding that right wall right now in this match. I think that's what he needs to beat Vince.
Yeah, Vince, I guess
Time.
the word on the street is that that's a shot that he has a hard time blocking. It's a right wall under.
It is the word on the street. That's what all the kids are saying.
That's right. The straight skinny. All right, we got a little bit more of a competitive game here.
Play.
It's 4-4.
4.
And Munoz, great shot selection going for that cut after he has Vince worried about the right wall under. And Vince just says, you know what, here's a cut of my own. Barely missed.
Yeah, that's Munoz's cut. That's so sweet. It's delivered in such a nice, smooth way. Buttery Viper.
You might be the biggest fan of Munoz's game.
Yes, yeah, maybe. I'm a super fan. Well, I see a lot of potential.
That was Vince didn't score, but that's that deadly Vince setup. He just pulls that arm back, pumps it. It makes me want to jump out of my seat.
6-5. Ready?
6-5. This is sort of I was gonna say this is sort of situation where Vince has so much experience. Vince is one of the most deadly players at tight points. A good face-off there by Vince.
He's showing some face-off chops. So now Munoz has really got his back against the wall because he's got to get 2 games before Vince gets 1 game, and that's just to tie it.
Yeah, and Vince needs only 1 more game to get worth a full half Carter Cup point.
The game itself. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vince is
God,
really
look at
feeling
that.
himself right now. That was a beautiful shot. Look at this. He pulls that arm back.
But see, he pulls his arm back, and then he pulls it back again.
Yes.
It's that second pause.
That is a master class in the time delay.
Mm-hmm.
3.
Oh.
Time.
Quickly down 3-0.
Good timeout.
It was a great timeout.
It was a great timeout. And Munoz called it himself there.
Good. Walks away from the table, comes back.
I think if anyone ever scores 3 times in a row on you, you should call a timeout. It's kind of my rule of thumb.
3-0.
Yeah,
Ready?
as a general rule of thumb, that makes sense.
He puts the timeout
3-1.
to good use.
Mm-hmm.
Just slow right wall over.
Yeah. And sure, Vince, just the way Vince is setting up right now, just looks like he's on.
Yeah.
Every shot he's doing is
Yep.
with
4-1.
searing intention.
Five one.
God.
It's deadly accurate.
5-2.
Munoz has a little right wall of his own. Cut there from Vince. Oh, tries the right wall. Oh, good defense by Munoz. Oh, ooh, a good get by Vince. Very good puck control here by Vince. Oh, Munoz
Yeah, yeah.
tries to go for
Who
it.
says he doesn't have great puck control?
Point 2.
Yeah, Vince is. When Vince gets in this mode, it's hard to do anything. Basically, you have to be playing absolutely lights out too,
Right.
to have a chance of beating Vince when he gets in this just absolute tank mode. It's like he's a tank with the most accurate sniper rifle. Makes no sense.
3.
That was a good cross straight by Munoz. Set it up to look like a cut. Oh,
7-3.
man. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard to win a game when Vince is playing like
Yeah,
that.
the unders, overs, cuts.
Wow. Look at that score recover rate
Yeah.
by Vince.
Yeah, Vince in total control in this match, and Jacob just losing so many possessions. It's really hard to win.
It felt like Munoz was never able to really just get into the match.
Mm-hmm.
And Vince can do that to a player.
And look, Vince's successful shot percentages off the charts. 34% of the shots that he executed scored, which, you know, now looking at a lot of the stats over time, that's really high.
That's high. Yep.
Yeah, it's real high. And you know, one thing I would say is that, you know, Munoz wasn't getting any of it, you know, transitions, which he normally does.
Yeah.
So, you know, it really shows he's having a hard time getting into it.
Yep. Though for both players, their dominant under and the cut was their highest scoring shot.
Yeah, it looks like to me that it was really the possessions that was a big difference in that match.
Yeah. Vince just got into his tank mode.
Yeah. Great win by Vince, dominating.
Yep.
Sort of saying that, hey, guy, you're not going to beat me that easy again.
All right, come to the ready.
All right. So now
Raise
we
my
move
mouth,
on
the puck is in play.
to you, Jacob Weissman. Nice face-off there versus Marcos Quintanilla, with the team double tap up now, 5-4 in Carter Cup points. So this, I mean, on paper, is supposed to be the biggest
0-1.
mismatch on the Carter Cup in singles. You ranked at number 2 and Marcus at 15. But I don't think that necessarily means that you're going to dominate. Marcus has already shown in this event that he's going to stand toe-to-toe with you guys.
Exactly. I was having issues with Marcus in doubles, and it puts a lot of. I'm under a lot of. Ooh, let's see that again. Let's watch it score on me again. Why not?
Ooh. This is nice and smooth.
This is his best shot right here. That cut.
Yeah. Well done.
Right past me. Hit it a little further back on the table. But that was
that was nice.
Decent. It's not a viper, but
Yeah.
it was some reptilian species. But like I was saying, is I think one factor is
1-3.
there was a lot of pressure on me to win this match.
In your mind.
Right.
In your mind.
2-3.
Right.
Yeah, and I think we've talked about that a number of times, right? Is that you want to make sure that you're
2-4.
you're living up to your part of your team. You're the highest ranked player on your team. You want to make sure that you are doing at least as much as what
3-4.
Colin Cummings is doing
Yes.
for his team.
Oh, come on, dude.
Although you don't look like you're particularly nervous right now. I've watched you play a lot over the years.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I look like I'm in it this match.
Yeah, you just look like you're focused, doing your normal attack.
And I honestly have no memory of this match, really, which probably suggests I was in it.
Right.
3-5.
That's really deadly. Yeah, it just
3-game point.
if Marcus is not able to adjust and start blocking that cut, I don't see how he wins this match or ties
All right.
it.
Ready, sir?
Yeah, he
Tuck
does
and
have me
play.
a little jumping on defense, though. Good block by Marcus.
Looks like he went for an over and he almost hit it. That's nice.
Tried a little change up there. Oh, Marcus was almost able to retain that possession. See, I don't necessarily agree with what I'm doing here. There's no reason for me to be going for those forehands all of a sudden. I only risk losing momentum. I should just be firing off another cut to end it.
Perhaps. But, there's also something to be said for doing a shot in competition enough times that you
left.
find the way to make it work.
Yeah.
Under pressure. Because when you're doing your forehands,
Ready, sir?
it doesn't
Tuck
look
and
like
play.
you're executing them the way I've seen you execute them before, maybe in practice. So maybe you're kind of reverting to an earlier stage of development, kind of like a Freudian
7-3.
idea here.
Jacob.
All right, yeah, pretty solid first game for the 2017 world champion, Jacob Weissman.
All right, I'm gonna erase my mouth, pucks and play.
Good face off.
I will say Marcus is, you hope he would be, but much improved since last time I played him in, I think, 2016. 2016, I had a challenge match against him where I won basically just by hitting cross straights over and over again. But he kind of, his defense has definitely improved since then.
Oh,
yeah,
talk
that's
about cross straights.
That is a shot that will work on
1-1.
me. That I have to consciously work on adjusting for, because it's kind of a classic Jacob Weissman mistake right here, where you see me wanting to kind of go out after the puck instead of just being steady on defense, and so I end up
Ready, sir?
slightly moving out of the
Tuck and play.
way for the cross in my attempt to go and get it. One thing I've been really trying to work on is consciously just being disciplined on defense and not doing what I
1-2.
just did right there.
Great cross.
Yep.
Okay.
For no reason, freaking out.
Still good.
Okay.
'Cause why not?
Ooh,
2-2.
that puck was
Yeah, that puck.
flying, literally flying.
Yeah, it was my.
Yeah.
Went off the table before I went forward.
Ready, sir?
I think after you.
Puck and play.
Yeah, you went
Yeah.
forward and then it hit and then went off.
Yeah. I just. Oh,
2-3.
that's a self score there. That's what I get for talking about vents is self scores. Oh,
2-4.
I really got it. You know, don't throw stones when you live in a glass house, something like that.
Yeah. So Marcus is now
3-4.
up on you. Looks like he's
Yeah.
starting to increase the pressure. That was
4-4.
nice. I mean, that really, really, really looked like you were going to do a straight at the very last second.
4-5.
5-4, Marcus. He has me on that.
I think
cross.
he's hit 3 of those crosses against you this game.
Smart.
Yeah.
If it's working, just keep hitting it. That's how you can win some games, just hyper dominantly. Just find that shot that works and hit it over and over again until your opponent says, okay, enough of that.
5-5.
It was a little.
It's a nice, cutesy, little soft cross. Looks like it's going to be a cut. It's a soft cross, so it's a really neat shot.
Thank you. Oh, Marcus just missing that left wall.
Game point. 5.
That always feels bad when you charge your opponent and it scores.
Mm-hmm. It does feel bad. I think he charged a little early. Yeah, on the cut.
7-5.
Yeah. That game really turned on a dime.
Yeah, it did.
Now raise
After
them
the
out,
second
puck
score, I
is in
kind
play.
of was like, well, okay, let's. Oh, that's a good face-off
1-0.
by Marcus. Adjusting for my usual face-off. So one thing about the Carter Cup that's interesting is facing off every game. So I think I win by far the majority of face-offs I do in
1-1.
just normal tournaments. But it was much more difficult here because people started
2-1.
adjusting to my
Right.
standard tactic. And
Right. Yeah. It was good. And, yeah, it was
2-2.
fun to see that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
3-2.
That cross.
Yeah.
That cross all day on me right now. Charging my straight.
Charge. Your puck. Ready, sir? Puck and play. 4-2.
Good left wall there.
It was
Great
fast.
left wall.
Yeah, it was really fast.
4-3.
He's charging
Yep.
early. I mean, my philosophy on charging is, for the most part, don't do it. But if you're gonna do
My
it,
left.
you definitely need to
Talk and
time
play.
it right.
Right.
Danny Hynes is a great example of timing charges.
Just
well.
missed that.
Yeah, if you charge early to somebody who's adept, they're going to bank around you.
To my left.
You assumed he was going to charge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Marcus
And-
kind of winning that
yeah.
rock, paper,
All right.
scissors.
Yeah,
Puck and
yeah.
play.
Well, that's fine.
But can he do it consistently? Oh, good.
5-3.
Over?
I think that went under.
Okay. It was kind of a
It could have.
Toss him out.
lot of
Yeah, I'm
losses
one
of
of-
mallets.
This match, I look like
All right.
the
Ready, sir?
worst best
Puck
player.
and play.
Yeah.
5-4.
Quick cross there.
Yeah, you probably should put a string on that mallet. Kind of makes me think of the cliche of you got to put a ring on it. You know, you're going to be married to your mallet. You need to put a string on it.
5-5.
Yeah, from just a safety standpoint, honestly, I don't. Probably wouldn't be great if I severely injured a spectator.
Yeah,
5 game
that
point.
was a really good cross. Powerful, accurate. Good get. Oh, and he charged early again. Oof. All right, pretty strong performance. Strong performance by you, Jacob. That basically ties it up again. Let's take a look at the stats. Wow. I mean, your puck control looks like Vince's from last round. And Marcus looks sort of like what Jacob Munoz looked like, which is hard to win if you're losing a lot of pucks. Yeah. You had a lot of missed but recovered shots.
Yes.
So even though you weren't scoring, you weren't losing possession. You were
Yeah,
getting
and I
it
was
back.
still kind of training
Yeah.
his defense,
Right, yeah.
keeping that pressure.
Oh, Lord. Okay, so you basically used 3 shots. That's what I'm seeing here. A cut, a right wall under, and a cross. Just that's it.
Yes.
And Marcus, there's that cross. Almost half of his scores was with that shot against you, and he also was not using a lot of variety. Interesting. Both of you guys were using just like 2 or 3 shots dominantly.
It's not broken.
No, I mean it
Don't
works.
fix it.
Yeah, it works. If they're not stopping you. You took 25 more shots than he did. And look at all those. I guess you doubled the amount that you missed but recovered. Yeah, strong match. So next we are going to have number 1 in the world, Colin Cummings, versus 11-time world champ Danny Hynes.
The video kind of
5-1.
cut off the beginning of this
So it started late.
game.
Right, it started late.
but,
We're already up. Colin's already at 5-1.
Yeah, this game was basically just a patented, from what I remember,
ready?
patented Colin
Play puck.
gets on and goes on a silly run. And Danny really not looking like he was super in this
6-1.
game.
Right.
Danny can take a little bit to kind of fire up sometimes.
Got a rev.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, the fireman has to
Table on my right.
Trash.
trash can shot. It's automatically 5 cutter at cut points. Trash can shot.
Yeah.
This match being ref by the up-and-coming Noah Weissman.
7-1 Colin.
Yeah.
Classic Colin, right wall under.
Right, and that shot, it looks like it's about to be a straight, or
Or a
it
left
looks like a
wall.
left wall under, perhaps.
Ooh, Danny scoring on the face-off.
Very nice.
I've been thinking about Colin's game a lot lately, and I think Colin's offense and defensive skill level is so high people don't think about this that often. But that was a great little change up, right wall over.
I don't usually
See
see
that
him hit
again.
it like this. Usually you see Danny do one more tap before he hits it. What's this?
Yeah, very creative there.
Yeah, it's creative.
Very artful. But Colin, I think could be the most athletic air hockey player of all time.
Okay.
He has super high athleticism, and I think that's part of the reason why he wins so much. I mean, I believe he grew up just doing cross country, and so he has insane cardio ability.
3-1.
Okay.
Kind of a mini viper by Colin there.
4-1.
Danny with a cross. Off the, ooh, and
4-2.
Another mini viper.
Colin taking my advice and using the same shot. Very happy
ready?
to see he's finally learning some things from me.
4-3.
Colin's just scoring unders this game so far. Oh,
I liked it.
I liked it too.
It just wasn't. It didn't fool
Players ready?
Colin. I
Yeah.
think it would
And
fool
play.
a lot more people.
yeah, it fooled me.
It fooled me too.
Oh,
5-3.
great left wall over.
5-4.
That's like 3 left wall unders this game.
Yep.
Another over.
Yeah.
That's how Danny's going to win pretty much against Colin, I think, is being able to get those overs.
Yeah. Oh, Danny charging.
And that's what I was saying earlier about Danny is a good example of someone who times charges well.
On my release.
I don't suggest, I don't, encourage people to charge, but if you're going to, make sure you're timing them right.
Yeah, if you're going to charge, make sure you stuff your opponent. Is my
basically
advice.
my advice. Yeah, and that's that
Colin.
that Colin right wall under that looks like a left wall under.
Hynes, come on. Balsam mallet, my left. Play
Good
ready.
catch by Danny.
And play.
Yeah, great catch. Colin's puck there. Okay, he tries that right wall under.
The one that looks like a left wall.
Yep. Danny stopping it.
Tries it
stopping
again. He's going over that right side now.
Two.
Ooh.
Let's see that one again. Colin executing that really well, kind of off of the cutting swipe motion. One of my favorite ways to hit a left wall under.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Danny maybe trying to get that over working, but just missing it.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh,
Time
that
his
was good.
charge there.
It was good. Well-timed charge.
Hynes.
Danny seems pretty locked in on defense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He adjusted.
Three.
Colin adjusted
goes
for the adjustment.
sort of the medium
Yeah.
speed cut. Yeah. Ooh, just like that, Danny's down
3-1, my
3-0.
bad. 3-1. I thought it was 3-0, but I'm not quite sure. Anybody want to?
Little reffing confusion.
Yeah, it's 3-0. Okay. Sorry, how many seconds did you get for timeout for the card? 20. Okay. It's about time anyway. Okay. So. Okay, you called it. All right. Players ready? And play.
Yeah, he's just missing that over.
Oh, Colin just missing that over. Oh, and
Four.
Colin finds it. He
finds
opened
it.
it back up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this game is emblematic of that athleticism I was talking about earlier. Colin is just so athletic, able to throw so much at the defense, and block so much that you just it's very difficult to keep up with that,
5-1.
with his physicality and his mental ability to keep up with it.
Mm-hmm.
6-1.
Yeah, I understand Danny's having a tough time defending. The amount of charging, even though he's timing,
Yeah.
he didn't time them well. I think it's too much.
Yeah, maybe. I think that. Danny has such a hard time with Colin consistently, right? He hasn't been beating Colin, so I understand trying something new.
Yeah. Well, but I'm not sure if it's new.
7-1.
Anyhow, that was a dominating game for Colin.
my release.
And now Danny's got to win just one game, and he can get half a point. Really got to push
Yeah.
here.
This one game here is worth half a Carter Cup point.
Yep.
Okay, Danny blocking that right wall. Oh, and Colin comes with the cross.
With the opposite side. Yeah, the other side of the goal.
Good get by Colin.
And that's.
Yep,
same.
that cut.
And that's the difficult thing in air hockey is when your opponent can hit both sides of the goal with such speed and accuracy.
Speed and accuracy, yep.
Yeah. And then, if that's at the level that it's at for Colin and you and, a number of other guys at the top, you literally have to guess where to go. It's just, you can't. You can read what is coming at you and make your best guess on that. And if your opponent is good at disguising, which side they're going to, it's just so hard.
Yeah.
Good attempt there. Attempt. And again, that was kind of similar when we saw him in an earlier round. He actually successfully stopped the puck there, but he did it the same way. It was nice and smooth.
Pairing my attempts at gets to Colin is very
different. Yeah,
it's very.
Ready?
It's a great way to show, because I'm great puck control.
Sure.
But it shows just how Colin is so comfortable on the table.
Right. Well, and yes. The emotionality is at a lower temperature, I guess. That's that same
great left wall under by Colin.
Yeah.
1-5.
Little chase forehand cut. Oh,
2-5.
Danny hitting a forehand right wall under.
It's a hard shot to hit.
Yeah, that's another one.
3-5.
I think. That is, in my opinion, potentially the hardest shot to execute in air hockey.
Time called.
Forehand right wall under, and he hit 2 in a row on the best player in the world.
Yeah.
I think that shows how, even though Danny's not able to keep up with Colin's pace here,
Play ready.
Danny's still one of the greatest of all time. Just coming up with something that's just
very creative
and
Charge, throw my right. Play ready. And play. 7-3 Colin.
Yeah, that it's hard, man, to withstand the onslaught.
Yep. It's very difficult.
Shots coming at you from both sides of the goal so fast. And, we're seeing similar puck control as what we saw with you and with Vince. And Danny, unfortunately, is had a lot of lost possessions there.
Yes. And Colin right at that high 20s. Successful shot percentage. Really high missed but recovered rate. Makes sense. He does a lot of off goals.
Yeah, it's interesting. You look at Colin's graph there, and he's pretty much doing 3 shots, which is similar to what we saw earlier with you. And
it's interesting. It makes sense, right? That right wall under goes with that left wall under, and then because of the way he's executing that right wall under, then he has the cut.
Yeah,
really a beautiful little 3-shot combo there with some kind of transition forehands.
Yeah, perfect balance.
Peppered in. Wow, 2 7-1 games by Colin.
Yeah.
It's just a level of ferocity that Danny just could not keep up with.
Right. And that's the challenge is, what are you going to do? Guys just scoring. You got to try something, right?
Yeah.
You got to slow it down somehow.
And look at 72 shots taken by Colin in 4 games.
All right, man. Come to the ready.
The double tap goes up by another point, and it's 6-5.
Yep. This match will decide who will be on top going into a potentially pivotal, whatever the word is. I play air hockey, not I don't say words. In the round 4 of the Carter Cup.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, it could be up 7-5, or it may be tied, right? It may be tied at 6-6.
Yep.
So we'll see.
And this is potentially one of the most on paper.
Right, on paper. So
matchups.
you and Marcus were on paper the biggest mismatch. This is the most supposedly going to be the most competitive, based on rank.
Actually, right there with Jacob and Vince, actually.
Right, I guess yes, that makes sense. So
yeah.
And so Brian Accrocco versus Doug Howard here.
Yep. Ooh, running a
1-2.
little cross. And on paper, of course, Brian is a much more what's the word, seasoned master level player, right? Doug is newer to the upper echelon, I'd say. So on paper, I think you have to favor Brian a little bit, but I mean, Doug's been practicing with Colin and Vince, becoming an insanely accurate, deadly player.
Absolutely.
So I think this match really is anyone's game.
2-2.
Nice little right wall ender there by Brian.
2-3.
Great rolling right wall over by Doug. Kind of reminded me a little of some Albert Ortiz videos I've seen.
Okay, yeah.
Because I know Albert Ortiz was a
Well, he was a competitor.
he's no longer a competitor, but is still alive.
Yes.
Top 5, right?
yeah. And,
Put you in the losers bracket in 1992,
91.
91.
But
2-4.
yes.
One of those years.
Yeah, one of those.
Charged by Doug with a stuff. So Doug listened, took my advice
3-4.
about charges.
Right, that you only do it
Charge
if you're going to stuff your opponent.
stuff your opponent.
Yeah.
Oh,
3-5.
that is
Left wall over.
Timeout, Houston.
from middle of the table.
Yeah. It's really hard to block that shot.
Heir apparents, designated coach Danny Hynes calling a timeout.
Yeah.
20 seconds.
Curious what he said and curious to
Ready,
see
sir?
if it
Scores 3-5.
Helps.
Ready, sir? Puck and play.
Said, Brian, you really ought to stop letting Doug put the puck in your goal, and you should just put it in his.
4-5.
And it's nice to see Brian taking that advice.
Doug's very smooth in his setups.
You know, thinking about the match between Jacob and Doug again now, Jacob Munoz, really, I would love to see a challenge match against them. They're both so smooth. It'd be fun to watch. Oh. Yeah.
4-game point.
That was nice. Well done, cross.
6-4. Oh, beautiful
5-game
right wall
point.
over by Brian. Nice get.
Oh,
And
Game
just
point
like that,
either
it's
way. Ties it up.
6-6.
Timeout, San Antonio.
well done.
The big point.
Yeah, Brian's really come alive in this Carter Cup match.
17,
Not just this
18,
specific
19,
game,
20.
I mean in the overall
Ready, sir?
match. If you go
Yeah,
back and
he's-
watch round 2 when he was playing in doubles
Yeah, Brian's hitting the puck in a way I haven't seen in
in a long
years.
time. Yeah. A lot of authority.
Oh. Brian missing. Oh. Doug going to.
Lord.
Yeah, see that one again.
Goes to the side of the table. His right
Then
wall
goes to the other side of the
over.
puck. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely feels good, doesn't it?
All right. Doug putting the pressure on Brian.
I'm gonna raise my mouth
If we
like
want
this.
to tie it, we need to take the full point here.
1-0.
Doug wins one more game. He assures double tap going into the next round ahead of the heir apparents. Interesting. All right, good sportsmanship by Doug.
Okay. Ready, sir? Yeah. Puck and play.
Doug is one of those people who really, really, really wants to win, but he only wants to win
The right way.
yeah, if he really
Yeah.
wins. Otherwise, it probably feels very empty.
2-0.
Great right wall over. Yeah,
Yep.
Doug is very reminiscent of a knight or something. Just a lot of really
Chivalry.
chivalry, valor,
Okay.
all those words.
2-1.
2-1. Brian looks like he's really having to fight here to figure something out against Doug.
2-2.
too.
Yeah, so
2-3.
it was just stellar.
It's a classic Brian Accrocco cross.
So he moved his whole body into it.
I think the cross is Brian's best shot. What do you think?
I don't think I know.
You know?
that the cross is Brian's best shot. Guaranteed. I like when he hits it and he puts his whole arm,
Yeah,
his
his
whole
whole
body
body.
into it.
Yeah.
He really pushes into it. It creates this
3-3.
sense that everything is moving towards his left, so you're right.
Yeah.
It's all the motion is moving in that direction, and yet it comes back across.
People obviously think of Brian as being a great player, but I think the level of his cross straight is a little underrated when people talk about who has a really good cross.
Oh, gotcha.
Puck and
Gotcha.
play.
Brian has a great cross.
Yeah.
Oh, and Doug has a
4-3.
great left wall over.
Left wall and right wall. He's just got great overs from great angles. Which it seems like he really took a look at the way Danny was hitting a lot of his overs from the middle of the table, and emulates that in many ways.
Brian picking
4-4.
off a quick cross straight. Brian has a lot of different ways to hit the cross as well. He can do that quick, kind of what we would call boom boom cross.
Which is at the very beginning of your
Yeah.
drift.
A lot of
And
intensity.
I think the reason the cross
4-5.
perfectly timed. The reason that his cross.
Oh, yeah, we had to see
These are
that.
replay machines.
Yeah, this shot is absolutely sick. Look, I mean, that's
This middle.
almost middle. That's like middle right.
Yeah.
Back. I mean, an insane amount of practice went into figuring out how to hit that shot.
Repetition.
5-game point.
Brian's up. 1 point. Oh my.
Game point either way.
way.
Time out on the table.
I need to go up to San Antonio and have Doug teach me that shot.
That's their seconds.
Interesting fact for everyone. The recent World Championships, Doug was the only player other than me who took a game off of Colin
Brian,
Cummings.
ready? Doug, you ready?
And I guarantee you it's because of
Puck
that
and
left
play.
wall over.
There was that cross.
Great cross
Yeah.
to end the game.
Yeah. And look at Vince in the background clapping. One thing I really like about Vince is he will give
All right, man.
due respect
Come
to
to
his
the-
opponents.
Can I
Yeah,
raise my mouth?
Vince
Puck and
loves
play.
just a good game. He loves just good air hockey. I think it's back to that level of coolness that Vince has. That level of comfort with being down.
Like it's not. It doesn't.
It's
It's not personal.
Yeah.
It's just business.
Ready, sir? Ready. Puck and play.
Ooh,
0-1.
good right wall under by Doug. Off goal by Brian.
1-1.
Yeah, it's just like Doug is he's committing to block that cross.
And Brian's making the adjustment,
Yeah.
hitting that under. And I think
2-1.
Oh my Lord, these are replay real
monsters.
machines.
That is not a shot you see very often these days. Great forehand, left wall under by Brian Accrocco. Right wall
2-2.
over by Doug.
They probably could replay that one too.
Oh.
3-2.
Good
Brian
cut.
looks like he's really in it.
He has that look. He has that Brian intensity look.
Stop. Ready? Puck and play.
interesting clash of styles. Doug's style is his bro.
4-2.
Ken with that forehand. What a great shot. And I think the reason it works is because
5-2.
Doug is so committed to being out on defense that he's able to get behind his mallet before Doug even, I guess, processes the shots coming.
Right, and that forehand is obviously back right of center.
Yeah. This is the very beginning of the drift. Beautiful
5-3.
cross.
That's
Well timed.
Yeah, great cross.
Super
straight.
accurate.
Unforced error there by Brian. Doug's able to
5-4.
capitalize. 5-4, I believe. Ooh, cuts there. Oh.
Game point.
Brian's
4.
throwing just a million shots at the defense. Finds one that works. Good mix-ups. Oh, almost had it. When I was coming up in air hockey, I can't tell you how many times Brian scored his Brian Accrocco off-speed cut.
To my left.
Is that a Wolf Slayer? Is that considered a Wolf
I'm
Slayer?
not sure.
Fucking play.
I'm not sure the difference.
Oh.
5.
Oh, not a
Game
good
point,
time
5.
for a self-score.
No.
6-5 now.
Brian finds that right wall under. Doug was there, but Brian just snuck in.
Snuck it in. So now Doug's up against the wall. He's got to win. And I'm sorry. He's not really. I guess this game is worth half a point
Exactly.
in essence. Yeah. A lot on the line in this game.
This game will determine who goes into the next round on top. Or no, I'm sorry. Who if double tap goes into the next game on top, or if heir apparents can tie it up. You know, but it will determine momentum for the next the next set. Off goal. Awesome.
Yeah, that's
forehand.
that same forehand.
You know, I've noticed earlier in the rounds we've kind of been, well, I was about to say we've been talking about how the puck flies less or flies more earlier in the rounds. And I was going to say,
And then
right
it
as
flew
that
off.
puck flew
Flew
off,
off.
that it's not, it
Hasn't been
doesn't really
flying.
seem to be happening as much. So I
Yeah.
think it probably is nerves earlier in the rounds. Ooh. Oh, okay, Doug calling
Yeah.
himself over.
And that was
That's the cross.
That's the cross. It's the one where he puts his whole body into it.
Ooh, good right wall under by Doug.
It
That's
actually pushed the mallet out of
Yeah.
the way, I think.
Oh,
And again,
Brian's filling that shot.
Yeah.
He's found it. Oh,
Doug with the forehand, but it was
it actually
an over.
went over. Yeah, forehand.
Left wall over.
Sarah Weissman's dream air hockey shot. Doug has an interesting glove on his left hand. Brian has an interesting glove too
on his right
on
hand.
his right hand.
Yeah.
And the colors are basically, it's an opposite pattern. Doug's is blue and like a light blue, and Brian's is red.
Doug seems to be kind of slowing it down. Understands that the game's sort of starting to slip away.
Yeah, and Brian. Yeah. Is that right? Well, it's 5-2 now,
5-2.
Brian.
Mm-hmm.
But Doug's a fighter.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
Doug taking his time trying to find a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think he might have mishit.
Yeah, I think
there. He's going for the over. My experience, that's the thing about overs is it can be tough to execute consistently.
Yeah. Oh, there he almost hit it then. Yeah, missing a few
key shots
is big right now.
Oh, and Brian.
When again, that's the third this game. Yeah, because, I mean, Doug's hunched over on his defense.
Yeah. Ooh, he finds that kind of a quick cut.
Yeah, I'm being hunched over. You can get a bank around behind him early.
Pretty. Yeah. Doug's fighting. Oh, Brian. Off speed.
Wow. Big game. So that means that they're going into the fourth round, which will be doubles, at 6 points each.
Look at that.
These stats, almost identical. Yes. I mean, the match was super close. The end of that game, it sort of slipped away from Doug, but other than that, the match was pretty much anyone's ball game the whole time. Yeah. Again, similar, but Brian having a little more success with scoring the shots that he was executing. And we noticed that at the end there, Doug was, missing a number of his shots that he'd been scoring. He'd been hitting earlier in the match.
Wow, look at that. Almost 20% forehand by Brian.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great. It's crazy to see it, but that is awesome.
And over 50% of Doug's scoring shots were overs. That's impressive.
Wow. That's huge. I don't know if I've ever seen that. Well, obviously I haven't. We've been doing these stats very long, but yeah, that's great. Yeah. Very interesting. Yeah.
Equal possession efficiency.
Yeah.
Almost equal shots taken. But Brian definitely winning out the possessions lost just barely. Doug winning the majority of face-offs, though. Doug's a great face-off player.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure. 7-6, 7-6, 7-5, 7-3. Yeah, like you said, super close until the end of that last game.
It just kind of slipped away. Yeah. Yep. So let's take a look at the way it breaks down now. We're through 3 rounds in this monster match. Carter Cup, 6 points each. We are going to 10.5. Whoever gets 10.5 first or higher, I guess could be 11, is the winner. And we hope you're enjoying it. Come back for round 4. And if you're liking the content, please subscribe.